Well, hello there, everybody. It's Monday, and you know what that means. We're going to be talking about all the figures that are going to look good under your lights and in front of your lens, and hopefully figures I start shooting again sometime soon. I'm getting stir crazy. It's kind of messed up. Anywho, we got plenty to talk about. I'm pretty stoked. So if you're checking this out on the replay, let me know what figure have you seen in the past week that you think is going to be perfect for sitting down in front of your camera. And now we got the people stopping by and seeing what's up. Hello, AR. Hola, Mr. Spencer. Then we got AR firing off a whole lot of other language, stuff for hola, hello, salute, hello, privet. I don't know this one. Let's see. What else? I'm learning now. Let's see, Minuten. I'm guessing German. Let's see. Hey, it's starting. That one's English. I got that. Let's see, Jada Toys Transformers. Let's see. Are kind of mid. Well, Jada Toys Transformers, to be fair, I'm not a big car collecting guy. I do have the 132nd scale Optimus, I think. The G1 style. Let's see. With that green. Oh, okay. Yeah, that green Mega Man. You gotta look at the action figures Jada's doing. Their cars are cool. They do good work, but I'm not into them. Their action figures are killer though. Oh, I am way close. Let's see. I guess they just have respect for every other franchise except for Transformers. Hey, I might argue, oh boy, could this be crazy? I might argue Hasbro doesn't have much respect for Transformers as of late. I know. That's not nice. Where am I coming from here? Spaded one. I am the knight. Da 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 da. I'm Batman. And Mr. Spencer, I'm actually tempted by a Super 7 figure. Hachiman from Thundercats. Thunder. I shouldn't talk. I gotta go check him out here. Rick shit. Dave is starting to look like my namesake. Yeah, it's problematic. This has to be hopefully the middle of May. I'll be able to get rid of this whole This is a problem. Anybody that's ever grown all this stuff, and I know there's plenty of people out there, for me, it feels dirty. Like it feels dirty to just have it on your face. And it's crazy itchy and yeah. So hopefully middle of this month, or next month, if not, maybe June. I can't imagine I'm going to have it much longer than that. Transformers 1 Legacy United Studio Series. I think Hasbro's respecting Transformers. They are respecting them from a quantity standpoint. I don't know. From what I've been reading, the quality is what's in question. And from my experience, that's been in question as well. That's why I haven't been picking a lot up, actually, except for the G.I. Joe crossovers. For whatever reason, I don't get into their crossover stuff so much. Let's see, but we don't talk about those. You want to talk about Megatron and the Baroness? Because I will talk about Megatron and the Baroness. Or Bumblebee and Stalker. Ooh, ouch. If you can get past the itchy and get some beard butter, it's actually quite nice and keeps the face nice and warm. That would be awesome in January. But now things are starting to heat up. So I might need to, I don't know. Can't wait to get rid of this. Let's see, quality yellowing plastic is over. Hasbro started using painted windows and the articulation is wonderful. Now see, with my stuff, I've told this before, but it was Studio Series 86 and some Earthrise figures, like the first wave of Studio Series 86. And then Earthrise stuff, It felt like the tolerances weren't right. It felt like things were too loose. It just felt, it didn't feel, they didn't feel well put together. They didn't feel well engineered. So that was more what I'm talking about. And it seems like I keep hearing that from a lot of other people. So hopefully they're picking it up. I still say that I would like to pick up that Omega Prime set, but that'll sadly be aftermarket if I do it. Studio Series 86 First Wave was kind of mid, and Earthspark is on a budget. Not Earthspark, it was Earthrise. The one with, what was it? It was the War for Cybertron trilogy thing that was going on. So I can't remember. Oh, the first one was Siege, then it was Earthrise, then it was Kingdom. All right, let us get into, see, I've even got a window ready to go. I know, it's crazy. It's like I did stuff this time. Okay, here we go. Now, we know that this is basically a reissue of what NECA had going, and I just came across this thing for Haulathon. It's possible this has been out there for a couple weeks and people already know. I'm sure you do, but hey, this is me trying to catch up a little bit. But yeah, anybody that's into the cartoon turtles, I would think that Bebop and Rocksteady are necessities, but who really knows? And by the way, I'm going to go through these and I'm going to show kind of one picture of each set. If you guys see something and you're like, oh man, I want to take a deeper dive on that, let me know and we'll go find them on the interwebs so that we can take that deeper dive. And then we've all seen this set. I mean, this has been out and talked about and teased and shown off for quite a while. It's the Samurai Mike and the Space Don. I've got to say, man, I think NECA, they bring the heat when it comes to the colors and all that good stuff and the details. Sometimes the articulation, not so much. And these look like maybe there's not going to be tons of articulation, but I don't know for sure. I don't know what's going on at the waists in particular. Obviously, Donnie's got a really puffy spacesuit, so if he doesn't move much, I understand that. With Mikey, I don't know. I don't know. He looks like that samurai armor is a little bit puffy too, but maybe not quite as much. I don't know. It doesn't look that bad to me either way. So yeah, these are the things that I have noticed thus far. And then we've got Broadway, and I can't remember, this was a Ghost something version of Broadway. I noticed there are no extra hands. This makes me sad, but he does have the folded down wings, so this might be how you get those. You simply buy another Broadway. Plenty of accessories. I do dig the extra heads. Like, I love how monstrous the one head looks, the second one there on the left. That thing's insane. But I don't know. I remember watching Gargoyles a lot when I was younger. I loved that show. But I don't remember it as far as callbacks. Like, I'm looking at this stuff right now and I'm going, man, I can't place what episode some of this was from and all that. And we know that NECA tends to be pretty specific with their accessories, which I'm totally cool with. When I understand what's going on, I tend to think it's pretty cool. I just don't know what's going on necessarily here. And now we'll get through one more NECA with the Jigsaw Killer in red. So yeah, there's other stuff I don't know much about, but I know it looks cool, and I like that he's got the extra hands, of course, and an extra head. That was what threw me off by Broadway. Like I said, there's no extra hands. So I'm assuming the other Broadway has the extra hands, and then NECA figures you're going to need the fold-down wings, so you can get the extra hands from the other Broadway and put it on here. But yeah, again, I don't know much here, but I do know it looks freaky and it looks cool. And who doesn't like the color red? I mean, come on, red's red. So that's what we've got as far as NECA is concerned. Let's see. See what the people have. And this was because Hasbro was coming off of the COVID-19 craze. I haven't noticed like bad QC with GI Joe so much. Oh, Earthrise. Oh yeah, Earthrise. I think the one I remember being the worst was Wheeljack. That was straight up the midst of the COVID craziness. See, I'm going to Area 51 ice cream. Oh, sounds, let's see, one of my extraterrestrial. Sounds spacey. Bye! CAR. Mr. Spencer, NECA is good, but I just had two bad experiences in a row. Minor, but I'm keeping an eye on them. Oh, what were they, John? I haven't had anything. When I got my turtle set, my Mirage turtles, there was a little bit going on. Like there was stress marks on the back of one of their legs, like the knee joint. And so I got a hold of NECA about that. And I dropped Donatello and he was holding his bow and that snapped. NECA was very cool and replaced both things. So I was happy with the customer service, though I would have preferred it to not be that way. Your customer service has been pretty rad. I guess mom's called them about, she called them about the Usagi Yojimbo pack. And she said they were really helpful. So hopefully whatever you've got going on with NECA, hopefully you're able to resolve it via customer service. See, Bob Ross lost part of his finger and Alf lost a button. I really would get online and it would be emailing them and read the whole email because I think people just miss this because I've heard nothing but bad about NECA's customer service. But like I said, I had a great experience. So check out the email. It'll say, oh man, it's been a while. But basically, towards the bottom of the email, it says, of course, if this doesn't get it done or whatever, then do this and we'll reach out to you, that kind of thing. So give that a shot and see if they can do something there for you. I think Alf and Bob Ross are both fairly new. So they might have stuff lying around. That was the one thing for me with the turtle set is they said, fortunately, that what I had the problem with was newer stuff. So it was likely they had stuff sitting around that they could ship my way. And that's what happened. See, their CS is already replied, so thumbs up so far. Just waiting on another reply. Nice. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it, John. They were very cool to me, like I said. And I know that most of the time I hear people say that they're not so great, but honestly, I think that people treat other people really badly, which is terrible. But if you get an email from somebody just calling you everything they can possibly think to call you because like what you had going on where Bob Ross lost a finger and everything, how likely are the people to really want to help you out? I worked at a place where I was cool with just about everybody there, but there was one guy that drove me crazy. And people would come in and I was doing photography and graphic design work there and they would come in and then they'd say, hey, Dave, can you whip up something that does this, or the other thing real quick? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, hang around. I can have it done in 10 minutes. And I'd knock it out. And this one guy would come in and he gives you like, he was the ultimate greasy sales guy. And he would walk in and ask something, and I'd be like, I can't get to it till tomorrow. Is it right? Not at all. That was horribly wrong for me to do. But there was just something about the guy, and he wasn't great, and all that stuff, and you just didn't want to help him so much. That was me. That was a story about how I'm a terrible person at work. Oh, it's definitely shout out. Let's see, some bad customer service. I'm a customer service manager in my normal life. Oh, I'll definitely shout out. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I didn't know that, John. That's cool. Yeah, customer service is just, yeah, I'm sure you've dealt with plenty of people where you're just like, man, do I really need to continue this call? All right. So let's keep this train moving. Okay, now I saw this come across my feed a while back. It might have even been 2 or 3 weeks ago, but this is the first time I really really noticed pictures of Joker and Punchline. And yeah, it's DC Multiverse, Joker and Punchline. It looks like this is the first time I'm really going to sit here and try and critique it. It looks like her legs are way too long, specifically generally from the knee to the bottom of the foot. Now, here she is wearing some heels or wedges. I don't know shoes, but she's wearing those. And so that would accentuate that height in those legs. So maybe it's not so bad. It's hard to get a view of whether or not her hands land at the right place when her arms straight down. Let me see here if I can tell there. It almost looks like her arms might be a little short, but I'm not 100%. Still, I do like that McFarlane decided to go out and do Punchline with Joker. I think that's kind of a cool set if you're into McFarlane's stuff. And then I know this was shown off a while back, and we haven't really discussed it on here. And he might be one that I go back and I kind of dig through and say, okay, let's look more at Cap here. But the Mezco Classic Captain America. He looks good. He comes with tons of stuff. That's where Mezco always shines, is all their extras. But that uniform, is it, like looking at it right here, maybe it's cloth and they're just hitting it really hard with the light. But in some spots, it looks like almost that whole thing is that pleathery look. So I am probably going to have to go and look at it a little more just to see if I can figure it out. That said, I loves me some Captain America. I still got to get the Mafex Captain America pre-ordered, which I know I'm time's running short, and good luck to me finding that at this point. But Cap is the guy. Cap is the man. He is the figure. He is the character that my collection has been missing ever since I sold off my Marvel Legends figures. So I am stoked to get the Mafex version. The Mezco version doesn't look bad. It just doesn't, I don't know. This looks pleathery to me, and I'm not, you guys know, I'm a Mafex guy. I'm not so much a Mezco guy anyway. Wreck Ship. Who is Punchline? Punchline was it? I'm trying to remember. I never read the story. I think she was the girl, like Joker's girlfriend after Harley, or I could be way off though. So don't take my word for it. She's obscure enough where whenever I see that, I kind of dig that. Hey, they went obscure with it. That's cool. Yep, Harley replacement. Okay, cool beans. See, okay, that's what I assumed. See, the boxers over the pants look goofy here. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Let me look. Let's look back here real quick. Yeah, not so bad there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look a little more at this Cap later on. We get a little deeper. Now this is Super Android 17 from Dragon Ball, I suppose. And again, every time SH Figuarts puts together a figure, it looks pretty good. But as with almost everything SH Figuarts does, I know nothing. I know it's going to be a great figure for those who dig this character and for those who have a crazy Dragon Ball collection. By the way, how many of you guys are into, I guess, most of what SHF does? Like, how many of you are into anime type properties? Because I'm just not. I kind of missed that boat a little bit, aside from the stuff that was way like mid to late 80s, maybe. Like, what am I thinking of here? So Voltron was obviously a little bit. Robotech. I did love, so if you guys haven't seen them, the Gundam movies that started off the whole Gundam franchise Those are incredible movies. Like kids in the US, I don't think could watch those movies. I don't know if kids in Japan, I wish I knew more about the cultural differences between Japan and the US, but it really gets dark and they really dive into some deep, deep stuff. And it's great. Like you should check out those three movies. And yes, you're going to end up reading them because at least when I saw them on Netflix, I just went with the English translation and kept the Japanese voices and all that stuff. And I don't know Japanese. So I ended up reading, but I thought it was incredible. And Dragon Ball, I don't know enough to say whether or not this is incredible to kind of bring it full circle. Jahir Badola, you're back. Oh, dude. I'm usually here on Mondays and Thursdays. There's been a couple times where I've blown it and I've missed, but overall, I'm usually here. Let's see. I'm into anime. Awesome. So what are some of your favorites? I'm curious about all that stuff. Like, who remembers the Orbots? That's right. I was into Orbots. I'm into older anime, the newest being Trigun Cowboy Bebop. I need to check those. I remember hearing about that when that was coming around. A friend of mine says that that anybody should watch Akira. He's like, it's not just a great anime flick. He said it's like one of the best movies ever made. So clearly, that's fairly high praise, and I need to check out Akira. John, Gundam movies are great. I really loved F91. Which one was F91? Because I love the movies, but it's been a while back now, and I'm trying to remember who it was. See, Pragmatic. Tomino would be happy to hear you say that. He wanted Gundam to be a darker, realistic take on the mecha genre. It was really good. Like, yeah. And I know that they've kind of jumped. I read a little bit. I tried to understand the Gundam timeline because I thought these are so good. I got to get into more of it. And I remember watching some Gundam Wing way back when, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, right? And I just don't remember the show much. I just remember those movies were incredible. Let's see, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Got it. Okay, so I need to stay up on this stuff. Mighty Orbots, that's a deep cut. Oh yeah, man. They were to Voltron what GoBots were to Transformers, I think is a pretty good analogy. I think that's pretty solid. Well, LOL, I've seen Akira. It's good. Oh, dang. Clearly I need to see Akira. Hey there, we talking Dragon Ball GT? Brick, we're talking this guy. If I knew enough to be knowledgeable about Dragon Ball GT, I would totally talk Dragon Ball GT. We were talking a little bit about the different animes that people have seen and that they really dig because, I came across this picture for showing off the good stuff. And it's a trick for me because I don't know anything about any of them. I saw Gundam, the movies I was talking with these guys about that for a little bit. I love those movies. A friend of mine says, check out Akira. I got to check out Akira. There's other stuff that needs to happen. It's basically, this has turned into, what do I need to watch? And what does everybody else out there think is really cool? Pragmatic. That's a deep journey. Just remember, anything that takes place in UC era is mainline Gundam. Anything pretty much is alternate timeline / telling. UC. Why do I saw like it was almost a map layout kind of thing trying to explain it. Which did UC, what did that stand for again? Oh my gosh, push the button. Have you seen the Mayfix 188, The Batman? Which one's 188? I've seen them. I'm sure I've seen them all. Might hit up Big Bad and see what we see. I still love Star Blazers, aka Space Battleship Yamato. Yamato. Was that similar to Robotech? Was that when licensing was really weird? Because I'm thinking Yamato, I think that was that, but yeah, I don't know things. Brick, gotcha, cool. I've loved anime and manga since Starzingers. Let's see, Space Gateers and Gotcha Man, Battle of the Planets as a kid. Got it. Then it was Macross, Robotech, Akira, Ninja Scroll, etc. Let's see. I've seen Battle of the Planets. Like, I can picture the characters. I don't think I ever saw that. Like, I do remember seeing some Robotech. I've never seen Ninja Scroll. So yeah, that'd be cool to find some of this stuff and be like, oh, that's really awesome. Universal Century, basically main Gundam timeline. Thank you, Pragmatic. I appreciate that. Like I said, it's there somewhere in here, but I think I'm a poster child for, oh, that knowledge was there and I wasn't using it, so it's gone now, so I can bring in something else. Let's see, the one with Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I have. I think that looks really good. What about you? I think, like, what was the most recent Gundams? Good Lord, the Mafex figures were Toby Spidey and Forlom, and I'm kind of excited for Forlom. Rick, been enjoying One Piece, Demon Slayer, Spy Family, Delicious in Dungeon, and Kaiju number 8 with my kiddos. I've not heard of Delicious in Dungeon. I've heard of the others, but I think I've heard of the others mostly because of checking out the figures. But yeah, I'll have to look that up. Here, I have the figure. It is really good. I also have the 185 Spider-Man. Man, I suck. Let's see. I know the only number I know offhand with Spider-Man is the 075. So let's see here. Here's what I'm going to do. We'll go to Big Bad. We'll type in MyFix. And we'll come to this page after I'm all done going over what I saw here. So we can go over all that stuff too. Let's see. Thank you here. I appreciate it. It's kind of become a joke on here. Well, it's definitely become a joke. I'm a bad nerd, and it's a joke because I say it, and it's kind of become sort of just a thing on here. But it's also not a joke because it seems true. There's an awful lot of stuff that you guys bring up where I'm going, that sounds awesome, and I've never heard of it. Right. Delicious is on Netflix. Quirky and different. D&D meets food, cuisine, cooking shows. Really? That does sound kind of fun. I might have to check that out. So there's a candy store fairly close to me, a couple miles down the road, and they've got Japanese candy, and I don't know anything about it, but they've got, because you were firing that off, this made me think about it. In the little, like, when you order like a Chinese food takeout container, it looks like, but then it has gummy noodles, like gummy bear type stuff, gummy eggs, like it looks like a breakfast, but it's all gummy stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. That's what I thought of when I read your description. Just wanted to pop in for a bit and thank you for your tips on figure photography. Been messing with it for a bit. Pragmatic, that is awesome, man. And don't ever think that you couldn't just ask a question in the chat if you have, a question about it. Because I love answering those questions. I really want to get back to taking a lot more toy photos and helping people out with them. So if you have any questions, fire away. And their Figma's coming. Oh no, I'm going to have to find those. Figmas of the food/D&D crossover. Let's see. Is that a 49ers cap? That is a 49ers cap. I grew up, well, to say I grew up, I didn't move. I'm in Michigan now, but I didn't move here till I was 9 with the family. So by the time I moved to Michigan, I already was a built-in 49ers fan because we lived in Nevada and California. And when the 49ers, because at that time the 49ers were awesome, those were the Sunday football games that we got to check out. Then I moved to Michigan and had to be convinced that the Detroit Lions are, in fact, an actual NFL team. They kind of look like it now, but for a long time, that was not the case. Figmas of Delicious in Dungeon. Yes, Delicious in Dungeon. Delicious in Dungeon. Gotta think of that. Gotta remember that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, now let's go check out. What do we have next here? Okay. I almost didn't want to do this to you guys because even though it's probably going to be a stellar figure, just seeing it made me angry because Jar Jar Binks. And I know we've talked about the fact that SHF was going to come out with him before, but there's a lot more pictures out there now. And yeah, Misa not happy that he's there. I always wonder, do figures like Jar Jar get released so they can test the waters as to whether or not the prequel stuff is going to be popular? Because if you're going to test the waters as to whether or not the prequel stuff is going to be popular, you test it with a figure like Darth Maul. You don't test it with Jar Jar Binks. Although I say that, I know SHF has done all those and everything. I just, this really does. This is a figure that just makes me sad. But if you really dig the prequels and you dig it enough to spend a boatload of money, I think Jar Jar is like $150 if you order from BBTS. Yeah, you can have him. Yay, Jar Jar. It's good to know that SH Figure Arts is still making Dragon Ball Z figures after Akira Toriyama's death. Yeah, I think that hit a lot of people pretty hard. I didn't know he was the guy and everything, but it didn't take long for social media to tell me what was up. He's a Bombad figure. Damn you, John Spencer. Why? I'm going to have nightmares tonight. I'm going to go to bed and I'm just going to be sad. See, I hate Jar Jar Binks. You and me both. He was the guy. He was the one. I was telling people in the last stream, I'm like, Jar Jar, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just being nuts about how much I couldn't stand Jar Jar. So I went back and checked out the original trilogy thinking, okay, maybe it's rose-colored glasses and all that stuff. But the most annoying character in the original trilogy was C-3PO, and he wasn't that annoying. Jar Jar, on the other hand, why, George? Why? Da, 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 da. Paul Morales. Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. How are you tonight? We're having a blast ripping on Jar Jar because he makes us sad. Whew. Da, 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 da. What am I singing right now? It was Voltron. Never mind. Singing. That wasn't singing, Dave. Misa thinks he's offensive because of the way Misa speaks. Dang you, Jar Jar. You had to be that guy. You had to make everybody so angry. All right. So anyway, I have tortured us long enough with speaking of Jar Jar. Okay, now LBZ got a hold of me. He commented on one of my YouTube. I think it was just a comment on when I put up the icon for tonight's live stream. And he says, you got to check out the latest snail shell figure. You're going to crack up. And he was not wrong. This is the Pumpkin Princess from Snail Shell. And we will go to BBTS because I want to show you more about what this thing is, because it's almost like this big pumpkin contraption thing is a vehicle that she just sits in, and it can just walk her around. Or I don't know how to explain it. It just looks like an angry vehicle, and it's hilarious. Like, it's not hilarious in the same way that the rabbit snail shell figure was, or that Milk Tea Girl is, but it's hilarious in a totally different way, because it's like we're looking at a anime girl, which they always try to make look really cute and all that stuff, but then you've got this monstrous, I guess, just it almost looks like a demonic pumpkin walker. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. What's everybody think of this? Because it's insane. It's messed up. Honestly think the Hasbro offering for Jar Jar is preferable to this one. I have not looked at them to compare, but I will say for the price, for sure, especially since you can get the Hasbro one for so much less money these days. Ooh, man, yeah. That probably makes sense to get that one instead, especially since he doesn't deserve to get that much of your money because he's Jar Jar Binks. They could have showed him less and he could have been fine, but they had to show him in every single scene. That might be a big part of it too. He might have been hilarious if he were in one or two scenes. But yeah, I did notice that George did listen, because Jar Jar wasn't in the other two movies all that much. Pumpkin mech. Yes, that's what I'm saying. This thing's messed up. And it's an evil pumpkin mech. Like, that looks like an angry pumpkin. Savage Crucible is shipping Wednesday for us Kickstarter backers. Woohoo! Mom ordered that piranha guy. I'm going to have to get a hold of her and say, hey, are you getting your emails? Do you know that piranha guy is going to show up? See, pumpkin is badass. Yeah, this thing's just, it's ridiculous. It's awesome. So yeah, LBC, he knows me, man. He's like, look, you have to find this. You're going to crack up. See, have you heard of, let's see, Sith lore? I'm assuming Sith lore, Jar Jar Binks, like the story of how Jar Jar was actually a Sith in there. Because that's the only thing, if that is what you're saying, it's the only thing that makes sense in my brain for Jar Jar. All right, now we're getting into the old thumbnail, folks. The Mega Man figures that Jada puts out, good Lord, they look good. We have Cupman here. And here's the thing about Mega Man and even Street Fighter. I remember really enjoying playing Street Fighter, but I didn't pay attention to the story, all that stuff. I was just the kid that was sitting there mashing buttons, using Blanca because I wanted to make Blanca awesome, and I could never make him as awesome as I could make, say, Ryu, for instance. Blanca was the man. Anywho, I digress. I don't know. I don't remember really playing Mega Man at all. I just know that what June and everybody at Jada is doing with these figures is incredible. So I want to support them when I can. And that's why I want to show them off. That's why I kept them till last. They're incredible figures for their size. Well, their detail. I'm blown away by what Jada's doing. And then we've got Elect Man. I'm glad that he had a name attached, because I had no idea that that would be his name. I mean, I would have thought something like Electro Man maybe, but Elect Man totally threw me off. Still, again, you look at this thing, he's got more colors, it seems. Like with the blacks, the oranges, the yellows. I don't know. Okay, this teal here has got to be the way that the light's hitting them. Yeah, because you see it up here too. But I love the facial expressions that they give a lot of these things too. And the effects that Jada puts together are really good. So yeah, I mean, I could sit here, I could probably just talk about how much I love Jada action figures most live streams, except for the live streams where I'm talking about how much I love Mafex action figures. Those two companies seem to just crush it with everything they do. I like NECA a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot I like out there. But Jada and Mafex, it's a whole new level. And I know that I still need to check out Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and a lot of that stuff. So I want to do that so I can say, oh, you know what? Okay, tonight's live stream, I'm going to talk about Jada forever. Tomorrow's, I'm going to talk about Mafex forever. And the day after, I'm going to talk about AWOC forever because all these are that good. And then we got Mega Man with a bomb. I can't remember what he was technically called, like Hydro Bomb or Hydro Bomb Mega Man or something like that. Obviously, we're looking at more of a repaint here, but it's a good looking repaint. I can't fault anybody for trying to sell repaints of Mega Man. He is, as the kids say, the titular hero, the character that the game is in fact named after. See, the Piranhaoid guys aren't shipping yet, Dave. Just the Wave 1 Lemurian lizard guy. Okay, cool beans. Then I don't have to say, Mom, what the heck? Why aren't you telling me things? Sorry, but Piranha is Wave 3. Wave 1 ships Wednesday. Dang it, man. Sorry. I'm going to be jealous. She's going to get that, and I'm going to be like, why didn't I jump on this? She actually thought it was really cool. It is. Right ship. The Piranhaoids are still a ways off. This is why I cry at night. Da, 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 da. The paint and sculpt looks amazing. Yeah, I can't say enough about Jada's stuff. I rhymed. Though I'm still on the search for Ken, much less M. Bison and Dalcine. Mega Man figs are great. I brought Mega Man to work and everyone loved him. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm getting better. I told you guys, like, I'm working on getting clients. I'm really close to having my cold email done and then just start marketing like mad, run some paid ads, all that good stuff. Then I'll be able to hop back into this game because I definitely need to play some catch up. Whoops, wreck ships on it. You're all right, man. I appreciate everybody being able to jump in and let me know what's up. Rick, I loved Mega Man as a kid, and these look great, but I'm gonna just enjoy these from afar. And I understand that completely too. You know, I think one of the things that I really like about them is that they're $20 and they're still this good. So that's one of the reasons that I'm like, yeah, I need them. I need to get them. I guess they called him Elect Man so they could avoid copyright claims with Electro from Spider-Man. That would make sense. I mean, in Japan, they could have called him most anything, I would think. I don't know. But obviously, you're right. Like, once it comes over here and they start giving him Americanized names, Electro Man would be a problem. Or maybe Electric Man. I don't know. That head sculpt looks different than the ones on regular Mega Man. Yeah, I should have said that. I should have said that it does seem like they're switching a lot of that stuff up, which is very cool. I saw somewhere in my feed it showed like a red Chun-Li because of all the repaints they're doing with Street Fighter, and I was actually going, "Oh man." Like if I could go very deep and very nuts on Street Fighter. It could get ugly in a hurry. No Dalcine or Bison here, but Ken, let's see, was work figure today. Nice. Yeah, I keep hearing you guys have been saying that Ken is even better than Ryu, so I can't wait to check him out. All right, so that was that when it comes to these. Let's close this out. I'm going to back up. Ooh, clearly I need more sun. We've got clouds out the front window right now. So now I'm going to share a little bit of BBTS. We're going to check out some of this because we can. So we talked about the Toby Spidey, and we talked about Forlom here. And again, I'm still really stoked. I want Forlom to be kind of the beginning of just crushing it when it comes to awesome Empire Strikes Back figures. Though I do wonder if they're just going to go for the bounty hunters. Now, yeah, look at these. Like, I've said it in the past, if, like, I can't get all the Mafex figures, but if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be signs, and those signs would be all of these would be mine. Every single one. Now I'm looking for, where's the Spider-Man? That was 185, it was, I think. Man, I keep scrolling and I ain't seen Spider-Man yet. Man, what's going on with that? I have pushed the buttons. I still kind of want to get the latest Mando. I want to pre-order Luke. I need to get Riddler. This has been insane. Huh. Oh, we can still pre-order Batman, Captain America, and Bane. Bird. Well, shoot. Not a whole lot of love. It must be Spidey sold out all over the place. Da 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 da. See, the glossiness of the bomb and green is immaculate. Yep. Yeah, I can't say enough. Like, lighting those things up when it comes to photography is insane. You hit those kinds of things with a finish like that. Like, I'm talking like I've got them, but when you've got a finish like that, if you hit them with really harsh light, that light's going to bounce like mad. It's going to be crazy. Even if you hit them when they have a shine like that, if you diffuse the light, you're still going to get really cool effects. See, is it me or do the shoulder of Mafex Toby look off? See, we were talking about that a while back. It might have been the last live stream, how I think that Mafex does itself a disservice. My bad. Sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button. What I was saying is, I think Mafex does itself a disservice based on the marketing photos that it shoots. Because let me go back here, since I totally hit the wrong button and exited everything out. Let me go find that Toby here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I know what you're saying too. Like, look at this picture. That is not anybody that has a bunch of Mafex figures and messes with them, and you do as well, it sounds like you hear, but with Batman, you know that those shoulders, that is just placed wrong. Like, that's not how it should look. And then you look here, and you can see the shoulders look a whole lot better. They look like where they should be. It's just that when the person took the picture and posed the figure, those shoulders don't look right. And a lot of people will say that Mafex figures, because of their shoulders, they think look kind of crappy, when in reality, sometimes the product photography does them an insane disservice, because we know that you don't have to pose them so they look like that. That almost has early Toy Biz Marvel Legends vibes going on there. And I don't want to take away from early Toy Biz Marvel Legends stuff. Those things were revolutionary. But yeah, you see a picture like this versus a picture like that, and you know that it's more the photographer and the way they posed this than it is the actual Mafex shoulders. Do, 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 do. If you want to get the Mafex 185, check out Plaza Japan. I was just looking. I couldn't remember which one the 185 was. Let's see. I'll just type that in here. Great. Now I've got this in my head. Okay. Plastic model. I know, now I'm just sitting here pushing buttons that you guys can't see me push because I'm, like that, it seems. Oh, come on, give me a search. Give me a search. Give me a search. Here we go. Okay, I just typed in Mafex 185. Let's see what we get here, just so I know which Spidey we're talking about. Obi Nobi. Guys, this is awful. I know, I'm leaving all of you hanging while I'm looking for that. But man, it didn't show me any love whatsoever. It just said, yeah, no results for Mafex 185. So dark is the power out. No, the problem is, so what I've been doing the last few times, Mr. Matson, is I've been seated in front of my my windows, and it's been really sunny and nice. But right now, it is not at all sunny and nice. I'm looking out there; it's all cloudy. But I've got a light right over here. Hang on just a sec. All right, that fixed it a little bit. Not phenomenally, but hey, we're looking at pictures. Nobody wants to see this. It's still got the beard. Let's see here. Toypixx was way ahead of its time with Spider-Man. Yeah, they were way ahead of their time with pretty much everything. It was insane. The people saying hi to the people. This always makes me happy. All right. So now let's just get at I'm going to stop doing that search. I want to go find, actually, let's look at Mezco Captain America. Because I want to get more. I went through and I scrolled through these pics a little bit, but I want to see if that looks more like cloth, if the blue does, or if it does have kind of that pleather texture. It does look like, well, see, it's tough to tell, like the way that it's shiny. On the other hand, Mafex could use a little more work on their photos. But Mezco really photoshops the crap out of these things, so it's hard to tell what's going on. Now here it looks like it's all cloth, but now I'm seeing what you guys were talking about with the boxers over the pants. Well, see, and then here, like I said before, it looks pleathery. And here it almost looks like it's getting all bunched up and a little pleathery. I just don't know. Yeah, like see how shiny the shoulders are, but again, because Mafex, or good lord, that's twice. Because Mezco does a lot of photoshopping on these, I don't know if that's just them really upping a little bit of highlights to make that happen, or if it is kind of pleathery. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the chat, see if you guys have answers for me, because I know nothing. Let's see, 95 for a Captain America. Hey, it's more than that if we go with the Mafex, but I get a lot more use out of the Mafex one. Although I wouldn't order it from BBTS. Let's see. Here's the problem with ordering from BBTS. It's just more money. Now, BBTS, to its credit, they've only had to cancel one pre-order on me one time, and their customer service is really good. The only thing is that one pre-order was the Mafex Tiger Stripe Wolverine. Makes me sad. So yeah, I don't begrudge Big Bad Toy Store those prices, but I've never had any problems with Ami Ami either, and I get stuff way cheaper there when it comes to Mafex. So until I have problems, that's probably what I'm going to continue to do. I do like, it seems like Cap has the correct body. I mean, sometimes somebody will make something that looks too skinny or too stocky. Like, I thought a lot of the Batmans that Mezco did early on I thought they were just too stocky looking for Batman. But I do enjoy all the hand options, all the head options. I want to go back. Hold on. This looks like it's cloth, like specifically the pants look like they're cloth. I don't know. I wish I knew more. Obviously, we've got a shield because Captain America. I do enjoy the ricochet effects here. But yeah, I wish I knew more about what was going on with Cap. And now we're going to look at this pumpkin princess too. Get a deeper dive here. See what we got first. How much does Mezco pay their photocopiers, their photographers, or maybe their editors? I don't know. I don't know. I wish the only problem with their photos, I like the look of a lot of them, but because they're so photoshopped, sometimes it's really difficult to tell what's going on with it. So I wish almost what they would do was we get a bunch of the photoshopped photos. Yeah, that works. But then we'd also get some white background, just basic product shots. But that's not what they do. Still, I think it would be helpful in instances like this. See, photoshoppers. I figured we were getting photographers, photoshoppers somewhere in there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. See, it looks like he has underwear. It does, and that's what somebody in the chat earlier said. I can't get behind the boxers over the pants look. Ricochet effects are great. I got one off of Mafex John Walker, Captain America. Mafex John Walker. Did they do a US agent? And I did not know? How would I not know? I know. I know things. It's Mafex. Maybe. I don't know. But yes, this is the Pumpkin Princess. And she is quite hilarious. But it's mostly like she herself is just a basic, trying to make a cute anime girl action figure. What's awesome is this crazy pumpkin thing. Like, look at that. It just looks like, it almost looks like a monster mech that she just stands in, or that just walks around and carries her around. It's so wacky. And look at that. Those are giant swords. It looks like it's holding too, off to the sides. Snail Shell is fun. I have to give that to them. No matter what, these are fun figures. With that, they've got. I wonder if this is showing off that they're going to do a repaint of it in the future. Because in the background here, there's a blue pumpkin head. But yeah, it's obviously pretty tall too. I like this shot. This shot really shows it shows it kind of in the plainest way possible. And that's just strictly entertaining. And see here, you know that there's some Photoshop in this, but overall, I would say the background was just image background. Then they light up the figure. It's a lot less Photoshop. Like there might be things to call out contrast, to call out levels, maybe make the darks a little darker and the lights a little lighter, that kind of thing. But it's not really heavy handed Photoshopping going on here. I know this is terrible. Here's the girl, and the girl's fine and all that, but the fun of this set is definitely the pumpkin guy. Although, hang on. Is that a pumpkin that she be holding? Yeah, it's wacky. And that's where the fun's at. Yeah, there we go. It's almost like a pumpkin skull or something. It's crazy. And I love how freaky she looks with that mask over her mouth there. But yeah, check this out. It almost looks like now it's a chair. Like it just looks like there's great options with this thing. And it cracks me up. Like look at that. It almost looks like it's eating her or something. But really she's just wearing it around her entire upper torso and floating. It's just messed up. Basically that's what I'm getting at. It's messed up, which of course is what cracks me up so much about it. And there are all the things. Like you can't say that Snail Shell doesn't work hard to provide all kinds of really cool stuff with their, well, stuff. Yeah. I don't know what to say except this thing's wacky. LBZ was right. Mr. Spencer. Oh snap! It wasn't Mayfix. SH Figure Arts. I think that's right because I think they did. I think they did Falcon and the Winter Soldier figures. So much scrolling. AR, what is goody, my gang? It's been so long. What about, I'm curious about Area 51 ice cream. I assume there's like a UFO kind of vibe going on in there. Is that right? Because that just sounds awesome. Remember, let me look at the fig. I think you're right. I think when you said SHF, I think that's right. Of course, I'm going to be down there in a minute, so I can find out that you already said, yeah, it's SHF. I wonder how the articulation of the pumpkin is going to be. I don't know. It looks like it moves pretty well from all those other shots. But it also looks like if I blow this up here a little bit, just look at it for my own sake, it also looks like I was going to say it could be wildly unstable, but it's got 4 legs coming off of it. And it's got those giant hands that maybe also go down to the ground. My thing with it would probably be stability more than articulation, because it's not going to be able to move like mad, I wouldn't think, but it should be able to articulate enough for a lot of crazy shots. And the only reason I don't think it'll be able to articulate like mad is just because of how thin the limbs are. Like it would fall under its own weight if we got too crazy. Get your money up, not your funny up, you dig? I don't know what's happening right now. I'm so confused. Let's see. Man, I get talking and then you guys get chatting and I gotta push buttons. I noticed, AR. Glad you're back, man. See, anybody else want to collect Revenge of the Fallen random figs? Revenge of the Fallen. No. Revenge of the Fallen was the worst of them all. Well, no, it was the worst of the original three, I thought. LOL pass. Not a fan of most movie figs. I have one B. Would maybe pick up an older Camaro B, but that's it. Yeah, yeah. I remember I was so excited about that movie. I actually picked up the first characters or the first figures that came out for the first Transformers movie. I was so stoked they were finally going to show up. And then I saw it and I'm like, well, it wasn't bad, but eh, you know. Huh? See, Revenge of the Fallen was my comfort movie. See, if I had a comfort movie from Transformers, it would be Dark of the Moon. Although I think that the best Transformers movie still is Bumblebee. Let's see, I've watched that thing 7 times. Nice. But I'm with John too. I'm not a guy that gets a lot of movie stuff. I did when it first came out, but didn't take long before I sold them all. I'm about to watch it again for my 8th time. Give me your face. Prime was so violent in those movies. See, nothing wrong with that. Enjoy what you enjoy, just not my favorite. And that's basically the theme of all the things, man. Everybody should just dig what they dig. Whew. All right. AR, but the ROTF toys were my holy grails until I lost them. But you may like something else, and I respect. I will say something that I really liked was the design of the figure when it came to Optimus Prime. Like they got to a point with, was it a masterpiece or was it just a really cool figure that they released at retail? It was good. Like that, the Optimus Prime that they did, the first one was terrible. That's the one I had. But then as I noticed more and more, I'm like, ooh, they're kind of stepping it up. Dang it, I pushed the button and it doesn't do the reading and the Spergen. See, Revenge of the Fallen is a garbage movie, but that doesn't mean I hate it. And I totally respect that, man. There's plenty of garbage movies that I like too. Let's see. Yeah, it's SHF. Not a fan, but that ricochet effect is great. I thought so. When you started, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I remember that they did Falcon and the Winter Soldier. At least they did the Winter Soldier, and I do remember the Walker, but I don't remember if they actually did Falcon from that. Oh, Area 51 Ice Cream is a space-themed ice cream shop my sister works at. Awesome. I figured that it had to be something like that. It just sounds like the decor would be fun. Like it just sounds like a fun place to walk into. I don't want that figure. I doubt my parents would even let me. You're probably right. My folks would not have been big fans of this figure either. But it still cracks me up. That pumpkin thing is ridiculous. But yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't like to collect those figures. No, we were actually talking the anime, the girl that comes with it is just kind of generic. Here's the girl that comes with it. But the pumpkin thing, like if you look at the listing for this and just see how crazy the pumpkin looks, it's hilarious. Yes. Yes. Every time I see that, I think of David Kay's Megatron from Beast Wars. No. No. There I was thinking Happy Gilmore. Are you too good for your home? OTF was garbage. My favorite garbage, though. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to think of stuff right now that I can, that like I like that. Like, so one of my favorite movies all time is Scrooged, the one with Bill Murray from, like, it's always on around Christmas time. And a lot of people don't like that. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? And then if I really look at it objectively, the third act is kind of thrown together. So I get it. I still love that movie. See, Dark of the Moon was great, but Revenge of the Fallen has so many tie-in toys, comics, etc. It just makes it so lovable. I don't remember a lot of that stuff because, like what John was saying earlier, I just didn't really get into the movie figures and stuff. But I don't doubt you. Psychopath Prime. Yup. Give me your furs. We would kill them all. I love Skids and Mudflap. I forgot about Skids and Mudflap. Whew, I really want Studio Series The Fallen. The Fallen would be a pretty cool figure, I think. Like, I can't fault, like, those are never going to be my favorite designs because of how complicated they were. But there are some that would make really cool figures. And I think you're right. I think The Fallen would be one of them. Let's see, we need Studio Series Kids and Mudflap. I wonder how much love there is for those characters. I think they're better than Jar Jar for Star Wars fans. Here, have you seen the Sentinel Spider-Man Noir? Yes, I have. I have seen that. Sentinel is another one of those lines that I need to pick up because I don't have any figures from it. But they don't do, as far as I know, they don't do just straight up comic book versions. It's like what you're talking about, that Spider-Man Noir is from Across the Spider-Verse, right? Because my line, the stuff I pick up tends to be just straight up comic book. But I think they all look good. I think Sentinel, from what people have said, they're incredible figures. Somehow I like the Mark Wahlberg movies better. I don't understand it. Not Marky Mark, man. What's wrong with you? Actually, I can't even fault that. Like, I think by the time he showed up, they just got bored with writing the movies. And it's to no fault of Mark Wahlberg at all. It still blows my mind that Anthony Hopkins was in a Transformers movie. So much anger. Oh, poor AR. So much. I should do a rewatch. A friend bought me the first 5 movies on Blu-ray just so I'd watch The Last Night. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Dark of the Moon I can do from time to time, but that Bumblebee, if I see Bumblebees on, I'll check that out. But overall, just not the Bayverse guy. Nice. And that is cool that you've got them all on Blu-ray. That'd be pretty sweet to just sit there, and that would be just a big dumb fun day. Like, you just throw the popcorn on and sit there and watch a whole lot of Transformers. That doesn't actually sound all that terrible to me, if I'm being honest. Well, or any movie series, really. Now I'm just talking to talk, it sounds like. So whenever that happens, I know that I'm closing in on time to run. Rey hasn't been through enough trauma to be a Skywalker. She still has all her limbs. She still has hands, all those things. So I think you might have something there. Except no, Leia got to keep all her limbs. But yeah. I would rather talk about Transformers Michael Bay movies than the sequel trilogy. Which was terrible. I'm not going to say, I know a lot of people love the sequels. I'm just not one of them. And I tried. I watched them. I saw them in the theater. And after The Force Awakens, which I did like, except for Harrison Ford getting his way and allowing them to kill Han, Aside from that, I really did not enjoy the other two movies. And so I thought, okay, was I being overly negative? And so I watched them when I got Disney Plus again, and I thought, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to watch these ever again. That's, yeah, there's that. Poor Ray. The fact that Michael Bay movies are better than the sequels really says something. I'm not going to say they're better. I don't mean to say that. I would rather watch the Michael Bay Transformers movies because it feels like there's enough Transformers stuff out there where if I don't like some of it, it's okay. I'm okay with that. But Star Wars was, it was so good. Like, I wasn't a big prequels guy until Clone Wars came out. Then I could tolerate the prequels a lot more. So then you had Clone Wars, you had the prequels, you had the original trilogy, and it was really good. I was stoked about it. Like the prequels damaged the brand a little bit, but not terribly. And then the sequels just made me sad. And then Mando brought it back some, Rogue One brought it back some, but then anyway, yeah, I could talk about this for far too long and basically echo a lot of people's points, I think, when it comes to Star Wars. It would have been cool if Finn became the Jedi. I do agree, and it felt like they were setting Finn up to be the Jedi. Like, I have said that I wish it felt like they didn't really give the characters any kind of time to shine until The Last Skywalker, which wasn't a great movie at all. And so I've said that if they're going to go back to the sequel characters, I'd prefer they didn't, but if they're going to, I wouldn't mind seeing some other movies where we could develop Rey and Finn and Poe a lot more than we did. I just don't know who the villain would be. They'd have to come up with all that stuff too. Whoa. Mr. Spencer, I'm a Jets before I have to give my Clone Wars opinions. That's all right, man. Don't worry about it. I liked Clone Wars, but I can see if others did not, no worries. See, have you realized that Harry Potter and Star Wars are really similar? I haven't watched. I watched the first 3 or 4 Harry Potter movies, and I've never gone back. So no, but I could see if we're talking like Harry starts off as just kind of a bumbling kid wizard that's not really a wizard and ends up saving the day, and then you've got your space wizards. I could see where that kind of comparison would be accurate. But I've never thought about it because Harry Potter just wasn't my thing. Balance forever. Let's see, we miss Absurdly Awesome. Mr. Matt Matson, Ray Palpatine. Never forget, Palpatine won in the end. The Skywalkers are all dead, and Palpatine's bloodline took over. Okay, now what do you guys think of this? Because I've heard this theory, and it kind of makes sense. So it almost sounds like all of them are Palpatines. Like, because Palpatine was the one that used the Force to impregnate Shmi. And if that's the case, then all of them are Palpatines, which hurts me a little bit. I don't like to think like that. I prefer that it's Skywalkers versus Palpatine. But yeah. Makes me sad to think about that. Yeah, please tell me somebody got those references. Not it. They cracked me up to read, but I did not get those references at all. The villain is going to be all of the Jedi making fun of her. Suck at Star Wars, you do. Let's see. The only problem Ray faced was that she was a Palpatine. It was, I mean, I can see somebody made the argument that she was just trying to find a family, just any family. And I could see that from a character development standpoint, but it was still tough. It was still tough to take her seriously as just because of the way she was written as the protagonist. See, Sidious impregnated Shmi. Right, but that's Sidious. Isn't Darth Sidious? That's Palpatine, right? See, no, you say like Balins forever? Wow. It skids a mud flap and absurdly awesome. Okay, got it. Got it. Skids a mud flap. Let's see, Plagueis. Oh, it was Plagueis? Ah, that's really messed up then. I never thought about it maybe being Plagueis. See, why did I think, oh, that's kind of cool or weird. Plagueis technology anyway. Was it technology or was that he knew how to use the Force so well? Let's see, wasn't he like 100? Because Palpatine killed Plagueis, right? It's been a bit since I paid attention to all the lore. Hey, what's a toy on screen? Just got here. Harry, that is the Pumpkin Princess from Snail Shell. We went through a bunch of pictures. The pumpkin thing, like the pumpkin mech, it just looks ridiculous and cracks me up. LBZ had suggested it to me before the stream, and I found it, and he was not wrong. It's hilarious. Let's see, Force use tech, etc. Yeah, okay. Okay, got it. Oh man, now that just totally blows my mind about Star Wars. Because I could swear somewhere it felt like it was Palpatine, but if we basically got just a bunch of Plagueises and Palpatines running around the universe or the galaxy, or now the second galaxy, that's insane. I wonder if that was somehow Plagueis's revenge for knowing, because I wonder if Plagueis, he had to have an inkling of what Palpatine was going to do, considering the student always turns on the master. So I wonder if Plagueis was like, I'll show him, and he made the prophecy come true via Shmi and Anakin. Oh, Star Wars. I do love that mythology. I need to watch just the original trilogy again. I need some Han Solo. I need that smart alecky touch back in Star Wars. All right, guys, that's what I've got for this one. Thanks a ton for stopping by. It was a nice stream. I think we had a lot of fun. Go check out Pumpkin Princess because that thing's ridiculous. And until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. Let's try this.